Brocast. On the Brocast. On the Brocast, yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Brocast. It is Saturday, 3 p.m. It is that time once again for us, or rather, I should say I, to entertain you, since there is no us today. All of my co-hosts are MIA, people in bad places and things and stuff and things. So today it's me all on my lonesome, and the good news is it looks like my stream quality's normal today. Go figure, YouTube actually is doing what it's supposed to do. So here we are. We are going to be playing a little bit of EVE Online. Anyone who has the game is welcome to jump in and join if you'd like. Welcome to the show. Brocast is live every Saturday at 3 p.m. And my name is Commander Josh Hawkins. So, what are we doing today? As you can see from the thumbnail that's up there, we are doing the epic arc mission for the Sisters of Eve storyline. Now, I played EVE a long time. I had taken quite a bit of a break from it, and in that time they added a lot of new stuff. One of the things I had noticed as I was playing today is that if you go under your Neocom over here and you open up the agency, you can see that there are all these suggested missions. There's incursions, there's these pirate strongholds, factional warfare, a bunch of random things. One of them that popped up was the Blood-Stained Stars epic arc. I opened it up, it looked kind of interesting. It's only level 1, it's kind of like for newbies, but since I've never done it, I figure I gotta go through this before they open up any other epic arc stories. And I spent a couple hours already this morning. I've completed 3 of the 7 chapters, and the way that they work is kind of like missions per chapter that unlock the next chapter, and then you get like a reward at the end. It's supposed to be a massive faction bonus at the end, and some type of rewards. Each little level 1 mission is giving me between 1 and 200,000 ISK, so they certainly do pay out. They're very easy to do. I mean, even for a brand new character, you wouldn't have any trouble with it. I'm pretty much one-shotting everything. And there's a lot of traveling too. They got you doing like some delivery missions, so it's quite interesting. It's diverse. It's a little unique, and this is what you could I suppose call a personal narrative. Although I think every player has access to them, so you could all do it. What's interesting is that as you go through the stories, as you go through each mission, you have choices that you'll get to make, and it's kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure with a different outcome depending on what choices you make. So it is very personal, because your missions will be determined by your decisions and your actions when you do those. Before we get into the continuing on, to say hi, Sinclair Research, Commander Giga, and Nightbot, Zendaris. I'm sure there's a few other people in there. I know that EVE isn't our most popular game, but it is something that is a lot of fun, and we'll take a couple minutes and quickly touch on Elite Dangerous here in just a sec. I'm going to swap over to this because I just realized I'm pointing out these things on the screen and I don't have my game up on the screen. So what you're looking at right now is you are looking at the agency screen, and these are like the different missions or quests or suggested things to do in the agency. What I notice is that there's like this one here, Pirate Strongholds. It says recommended for 10 to 40 pilots. So I guess if you're in a corporation and you have enough people, or if we formed a corporation like we wanted to do a Brocast corporation, we get 10 of us in there, we can go and check out something like this. This is something that I think would be really cool for show, having 10 or more of us in there. I know that quite a few people had, in fact, joined up, so I hope that maybe we will all get in there. Greetings from Las Vegas, Commander, says Starlost. Well, greetings to you, Starlost. Brother Sabathius is lurking a bit. Good to see you. Osage Orange, good to see you as well. Looking at some of the other ones that you're in here, you have these incursions. Here is an incursion. It says like there's different stages to it. I guess that's what these little white things represent. Incursion withdrawing. I didn't really look into this, but it does say form a fleet and help fend off the terror of Sanchez Nation incursion. So this was something that got added in with one of the previous expansions. Don't forget to tickle that like button, you squishy meat sack, says Nightbot. That's right. Thank you for the reminder, Meatbot. If you're just joining in right now, don't be shy. Hit the like button, and if it's your first time watching the Brocast, well, I'm very sorry for you, because the next 2 hours are going to be painful. No, I'm just kidding. We're not that bad. Today's Brocast is sponsored by Captain Morgan's Spice Rum on ice. This bottle's been sitting in my freezer for so long that it's not even melting the ice because it's colder than the ice, I think. Sweet, sweet alcohol. All right. So, let's get right to it. I'm at Chapter 3, almost done Chapter 3. Got 2 more missions left to go there. I'm going to finish this off, and I'm going to just go through this while I'm playing. I'm going to read off a couple things. I have here, what does it say? So, epic arcs are basically chain missions, which are split up into chapters. It says, throughout the arc, the player will be offered several choices, which will branch the arc in one or more directions. The missions that make up the arcs typically have good ISK rewards, and the last mission of the arc carries a very handsome reward. Alright, it's a Josh Hawkins reward you get at the end. Oh yeah. Let's see. Each epic arc can be repeated every 3 months. So every 3 months or so, you can repeat each arc. Now what I'm hoping to find out is that once we complete this arc... yes, please kids, don't drink and fly. Once I complete the arc, if it's going to unlock like a level 2 epic arc, I think that would be great. Oh, did I take the mission? Neutralize every drone inside the quarantine area. All right, well, let's go ahead and start neutralizing some drones. Why did it send me 100 kilometers away? Oh, my God. Well, I guess we're going in. I am flying, unless it's Levy and Brandy. Yes, well, there's nothing against Levy and Brandy, of course. Finest brandy in the galaxy. I am flying a Kaldari Navy Hookbill. It's a faction frigate. It's not that hard to get. It's not particularly expensive, but it is tough as nails and dishes out a crap ton of damage. If I open up my fittings here, you'll see I've got 5,200 effective hit points on this fit and 199 DPS using rocket launchers. Yes, rocket launchers, the smallest of the missiles that you can get, but I have a small bay loading accelerator on there, and I'm also using a crosslink compact ballistics control system right over here. So we are getting a lot of extra deeps. And here they come. Drones are targeting me. So we're going to start popping these things. I got to get within range of them, though. That's the only thing. This thing doesn't have a particularly long range. It's 12 kilometers maximum flight range on these rockets. But that's okay, because nothing is really going to hurt me, being a level 1 mission and all. Pretty sure that these guys could all attack me. It's not going to do anything. I haven't even had to activate my shields. Watch this. We'll just one-shot them. Pop! It's going to be very easy. I'm going to be burning through these missions pretty quick, and I'm going to try and see if I can get to the end of the story arc to see what type of reward we get. Oh, look, they actually are denting me just a tiny, tiny little bit. That's okay. I'll actually turn on my tank for the first time in a couple hours. Interesting. You might be hearing in the background a very loud little bug. That is because it is still quite hot in Montreal. Just putting this little thingy down here. There we go. Okay, let's get back to killing. Still quite hot in Montreal, 25 plus, almost 30 degrees with the humidex, and this heat wave seems to never want to end. But along with the heat comes the cicadas, which are loud and always make me think of a hot summer in Montreal, because there's very few places where you actually hear these things. I lived out west, you never heard them at all. Turgeon and Greytest have not mutinied. Greytest is still doing his thing off on a mountain somewhere, living the mountain life, and Turgeon is taking care of his dad today. Messaged in saying Dad wasn't feeling too good. So all the best to your dad, Turgeon. Hope he's feeling better, and they may or may not pop in for a quick hello at some point during the broadcast. Today, just flying solo. There we go. That one is done. Let's go ahead and dock over here. like I said, these are going to go real fast. So I'm just going to burn through these missions and try to get to the end of it and see what the heck we get. If I do manage to get to the end, which I think I should be able to do because it's going pretty damn fast, what I will do after that is I will jump into my Jackdaw, which is a new ship that I picked up and I had fitted for some high-sec exploration and combat. And I gotta say, it is mighty cool. Best wishes to Turgeon and his pops from Sinclair and Nightbot. I'm sure he appreciates that very much. And hopefully we will see Turgeon or Great Test pop in, even if just for a minute to say hi. It's always nice to see them on the show. Alright, we've docked. Let's go ahead and talk to our agent and complete the mission. You can see that one. I got a 90,000 plus 100,000 ISK bonus for completing it quickly. We're going to take the next mission, and she is sending me to a different destination. So I got to go back and head on over to this other agent that I was working with before. Before I do that, I'm going to just grab all of this stuff out of here and see. Can I sell them here? We want immediate sale. Come on, immediate. Can I? I can sell most of it here. Let's go ahead and sell that off. This is just junk, so I don't really care. You cannot sell a negative quantity. Really? I would imagine you would not be able to sell a negative quantity. Why would there be a negative quantity? Just sell it. Where am I entering 0? Okay, the Gamma S and the limited explosive shield, apparently I can't sell. So let's go ahead and just get those out and then see if we can sell all the rest. Sell it. Come on now. Come on. Go ahead. Sell it all. There we go. Just grab those into my inventory and let's head on the hell out of here. Did we take it? Did we take it? Accept before we start flying over there. Set destination. We've already got it. Let's undock and start heading out. Scary lip unit. Scary lip unit. Oh my god, I didn't even see. I never look at the pictures on these guys. I imagine you're talking about the NPC and not me.
Drive active.
All right, so we're going to start heading in here. For any of you who are watching who don't play EVE, feel free to slap any questions you want in the chat, and I will be happy to go ahead and answer whatever I can about EVE Online. Oh my god, Spooky, you finally downloaded Mamahawk for your phone? For those of you who don't know what Mamahawk is, when I was at Gamescom in Boston with the guys from Frontier and Shibuka, just beside the the Elite Dangerous panel where we were working for a few days, I walked around the corner and there was a little indie game called Mamahawk, and I thought that was pretty funny. So I grabbed one of their pins and I think I showed it off on the live stream. Yeah. Mamahawk, a little indie game for, I don't know if it was on PC as well, but I know it was a mobile game. So you can definitely go check it out. It's kind of interesting. Funny little game. Darwin Hitchlap says, if I buy a ship/module, how can I ship it to me from another station? Total noob here. Unfortunately, you can't. If you buy a ship or module in another station, you have to go and pick it up. Now, I think, I could be mistaken on this because I've never really done it. I know that you can contract people to pick stuff up and deliver them to you. I don't know how that works. If they get killed or blown up during that time, there may be a penalty for them. I don't know if they have to pay it. However, your best bet is to just fly over to that station. Now, you can pick up a cheap cargo ship. Even as a noob, you can pick up the cheap cargo ships with a few basic skills and then just load it all into your cargo and haul it over to wherever you want to set up your home station. That's kind of what I do. And that way, you don't have to worry too much. But if you do want to do what I've done, Darwin, is go to JITA. JITA Moon 4... Yeah, Planet 4, Moon 4, the Caldari Navy Assembly Plant, and you can buy everything there. It's kind of like the biggest hub in the game. There's always like a couple thousand people there, and you can buy and sell virtually anything at that station. And that way, if you set it as kind of like your home station until you're ready to start moving out into more dangerous space, it's certainly a great place to have a home station. And then if you decide you want to move, we'll just sell everything there and start over somewhere else, or leave your stuff there and use Jita as kind of like your home station forever and kind of bounce back there. You can make jump clones as well, which lets you quickly jump between stations. So you could take like a shuttle and travel real far out and set up a jump clone at another system, and then use your jump clones to jump back and forth between systems if you want to alternate between high sec and low or null sec or wherever. Yeah, Sinclair, remember that Mama Hawk moment? It was really funny. Funny quinkadink that the Mama Hawk was right over there. And I think my mom was on the live stream at the same time, so that was for her. Good old Mama Hawk. We are 2 jumps away from re-arriving at the station that we want to go to.
Warp drive.
Set our warp drive here. Very good. Thanks very much, Darwin Hitchlap. You're very welcome. And, gosh, I would love to show you guys the Jackdaw. It's a Tech 3 tactical destroyer. And they have Tech 3... They want to say battle cruisers? I never flew any of the Tech 3 ships. This is one of the newer Tech 3 ships that were added in more recently. And these ones here, much lower entry level to actually get to them. But like the other Tech 3 ships, they have 3 modes. You have propulsion, you have defense, and you have like a sniping mode. I think it's, oh gosh, I don't remember what the heck it's called, but 3 modes. Sharpshooter, that's what it is. So there's like a DPS mode, a damage, a tank mode, and a speed mode. And you get different bonuses depending on which you're in, of course, corresponding to those 3 categories, which is pretty cool. It's a lot of fun to fly. It's fast. It moves like a frigate, but it's got a lot of guns on it. It's, I think it's got like 6 guns on there. And it has a probe scanner, so I can probe down the combat sites that you want to bring that thing into. Alright, here we are. Let's go dock. Speak with our agent. How's the stream quality today, guys? I'm seeing green all across the board. I'm hoping that there is no delay for you guys. Let's take a look. Quality looks better on my end. Stream is good, says Sinclair. Alright, YouTube is cooperating with us today. Hallelujah!
Docking request accepted.
It's wonderful. It's like the first time in 3 weeks that YouTube's cooperated with us. I wonder what the hell was the problem was before. Very happy to hear that it's working, guys. Very, very happy. Okay, I think we gotta talk to this chick here. Yes, let's accept and see what they want us to do. Acquire the goods, 15 FR personnel, evacuate the FR personnel from the area. You might get surprised by rogue drones, stay on task. Yeah, you have a good day too, people outside. Alright, so we gotta go to the drop-off location. I guess we're just gonna have to undock and go pick them up. I'm gonna close my window. Okay, undocking. Royal Jelly. Yes, that's where we want to go. It's an encounter in Dead Space. Let's warp our little selves over there. On our way to the encounter, we're going to go pick up these 15 guys and make a delivery somewhere. This system, up until now, the other 3 chapters of missions I've been doing, basically just been like a few destroy missions, killing a bunch of easy little simple frigates, and a few delivery missions, and a few rescue ops. So let's see what we got here. We've got a habitation module, 78 kilometers away. Let's pop on afterburners and fly on over there. Let's take a look at this. Here it is. We gotta rescue them from here. Watch out for some drones. This star station is awesome, by the way. They have the habitable domes, and you can see the little ships flying around in there. You can tell just how big these things are. I mean, these are like actual cities in these domes. What the hell? Holy crap, Spooky. Thanks a lot, Spooky. Thanks for making me crap my pants. It's been a while since I heard that noise. Well, thank you very much, and that gave me a little bit of a scare. Drinking doesn't help, by the way, doing that and drinking and hearing that noise. Probably because I haven't eaten breakfast either. All right, so we're getting some drones spawning in while we fly over there. I got to keep my head on straight while I fly and go pick up these guys from the habitation module. Got a few frigates popping in. Let's go get these little dudes. These guys are way out of range, so I'm not worried about them. Do I need to kill the drones, or I just need to pick them up? Evacuate the personnel. Yeah, I just have to evacuate. I don't think I actually have to do anything more. So I don't even need to fight these drones. Let's see. I will just bring them back to the base without fighting the drones. There's no point in fighting drones. They're one-shot kills. They give me nothing. You know, honestly, Nightbot, I wouldn't be surprised. It doesn't look like much, but this is a pretty fat glass. My Christmas cup over here is what I'm getting wasted on today, and that is pure delicious in the cup.
Docking permission requested.
I don't know if you guys like
Docking
cold
request
rum or cold whiskey, but I leave my bottle in the freezer to the point where it's so damn cold that if you pour it into a shot glass straight out of the freezer and try to drink it, you probably freeze your esophagus swallowing the stuff. It's ridiculous. So I got to put the ice in there just to warm it up. There we go. That's a 300,000 ISK reward right there for that one. Let's go ahead and request the next mission. And what do they want us to do? Ooh, okay, we have to go pick up there. All right, this one we got it. Ice cold scotch is the best, says Dan Carlin. What's your favorite scotch, Dan? Actually, what's your favorite scotch, all of y'all's? Let's see. What do you guys like to drink? I am drinking Captain Morgan's dark spiced rum at the moment, and it is delicious. Gotta say. I mix this stuff with orange juice usually, and you get like a real nice, dark rum and orange juice is fantastic. Actually, it kind of makes me want to go and get some juice right now. Dalwhinnie single malt. Sinclair likes JD. Yeah, there's some JD fans in there. Beer. I don't know if beer counts as a scotch or a whiskey, Dave G. Unless you like distill the beer. It's interesting, actually. We don't think about this much, but the alcohol in whiskey or scotch is exactly the same alcohol as what's in beer. It's just processed differently. So technically, it is exactly the same. Sandvet. Glenfiddich, is that? I've never even heard of that. White and McKay 12-year single malt. Oh my god, like these are all drinks I've never even heard of before. Could be just because I'm a Canuck and we have limited access to scotch here. I like Chivas 12-year aged whiskey. It's probably my favorite. But I just happen to have the Captain Morgan's in the freezer. Nightbot says, although I don't have a mouth or taste buds to appreciate it fully. Oh, I'm sorry, Nightbot. Would you like me to describe it for you? I can give you a description. Let me see. It smells sweet, almost syrup-like. Cold on the tongue, but also very. It's got a rich flavor. Almost too sweet, though. I mean, this dark rum, that's why I mix it with orange juice. It is a little bit sweet, I will say. It's not like a whiskey that's has more of a strong taste to it. This here, you get that rubbing alcohol sort of sensation on your tongue, but it's like a sweet-ass rubbing alcohol. It's quite nice.
Warp drive active.
ASMR rum. Again, I'm not familiar with that one. ASMR rum. Don't mix whiskey? No, I wouldn't mix whiskey. Well, yeah, just rum. Just rum. Whiskey is good on its own. I don't even know why I'm drinking this dark rum, spiced rum by itself. I do have some tropical juice in my fridge. I could mix it with that. Might be better. All right, let's go dock.
Warp drive active.
Nightbot has a thaw button for thawing frozen bread. Oh, I'm sorry, Nightbot. That's right, you wouldn't know taste or smell. Sweet, sweet. Do you understand sweet? Does that compute? Because if you understand... It's hard to understand the taste of sweet when you don't have taste buds. But, I mean, I can't imagine, like, someone who's never tasted sugar before trying to describe sugar to someone. I don't even know how you would do that. How would you describe sugar to someone who's never tasted sugar before without actually giving them some to taste? It's kind of odd, really. It's hard to do if you think about it. You have to be at the drop-off location. Oh, no, I got to pick the stuff up here. Okay, so I'm picking up these guys. Item hanger and the encoded data transmissions, and... Oh, really? We got to bring it back? All right. Bring it back. One encoded data. This is just a go-to mission.
Hello, hello.
Oh, hello. Commander Greatest is here, everyone.
Is this thing on?
It is. It's on. I mean, did you notice the stream quality is good, too? It's like a miracle.
No,
I'm so happy right now.
Oh, it's so beautiful. No, I actually can't tell because I'm on my phone right now, so I can't watch you and talk to you at the same time, unfortunately.
Oh,
but hey, everyone!
That's okay.
So glad to hop back in for once. It's been a while.
Greatest! Spooky says hi, and I'm sure everyone else will
Hey,
say hi as
Spooky.
well. Yes, how's things going
Much
with you,
love to
Greatest?
guys. Oh, it's been crazy, man. Yeah, I've done this like bike tour across the Alps to Lake Garda. I had a great big time down there. Then I was like home for one day, and now I'm back up in Hamburg trying to look for an apartment, you know, because it's getting closer to when I'm gonna move here.
I have an
So,
apartment
yeah.
for rent, if you want to come and rent mine.
But the issue is, I think, you know, trafficking from Canada to Hamburg for work every day is a bit troublesome.
Come on, man. It's like a 40-minute drive. No problem. No
Yeah.
problem.
Maybe you can get Elon Musk to build like a hyperloop there.
Yeah, there you go. Oh my god.
Hyperloop across the Atlantic.
It would be like the oh god, what did they call it? The drop in the remake of Total Recall. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh
I
my
think
god.
It's on Netflix. I should watch that.
I'm pretty sure it is, and you know, I was, when I heard that they were remaking Total Recall, I was like, oh, why? Why would you do that? Total Recall is like just one of those classic movies that you don't need to remake, like Ghostbusters. You don't need to remake Ghostbusters. It's a classic hit movie. Stop trying to redo it for modern times. It's not necessary. Ghostbusters was cool because at the time, nothing like it existed. And
Yeah.
Total Recall was cool because at the time, nothing like it existed. But now they're trying to remake them and they're trying to make them more modern with cooler special effects. Anyhow, you know what? It was an interesting remake. It wasn't exactly the same story. There was some nice little twist to it. It felt cool. The special effects were cool. And they have something called a drop, which is basically like a hyperloop, but from one side of the planet to the other. And it's freaking awesome. Like, that's what you need.
Maybe I have actually seen that. Oh, I can't recall right now. Funny. because I have seen a movie where there was like this big bloody like elevator thing that dropped through the earth. It must have been Total Recall. I
Yeah.
don't think any other movie did that, right?
No, that's what it was.
And
It
then
was
I might actually have seen it. Quite recently actually.
the concept of it is actually really cool as well, because it's like, it uses gravity to pull it down through this tunnel and then pop out on the other side of the Earth, literally at the opposite point, and it passes by the core. And I really liked how, as it passes the core, the gravity sort of shifts, and then the seats switch to the other side of the
Even though
the
that
elevator.
wouldn't make any sense whatsoever, because if you're in free fall, you have no G's.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you take air resistance into account, which I guess if you had air at the core of the Earth would be rather significant, because the pressures would be incredible, and you would have lots of air down there, probably even liquid. I don't know. Somebody should calculate that.
Well,
Then the lift couldn't just drop through there either. You would have to somehow accelerate it as well.
Yeah, well, because of air resistance, you definitely have to accelerate it. And also, the fact is, if you drop from one side of the Earth to the other, yes, the force of gravity would pull you down towards the core, and then as you accelerated towards the core, and then you pass the core, your acceleration would begin to slow down, so you would actually reach
decelerate you again,
the other side. But would you reach exactly the other side? You'd be very damn close. It's kind of like that pendulum swing where the guy, I know, like Neil deGrasse Tyson has done this, where he stands there and drops that ball.
You would reach the other side exactly if you had no resistances whatsoever.
Exactly.
Yes, no air resistance, no friction in the rails or anything. Yes, then you would absolutely reach the other. But you also, which I don't think the movie did either, would have to take the Coriolis force into account, because if you drop straight down to the core of the Earth, all your rotational inertia, that you have because you're on the surface of the Earth and the Earth is rotating, would have to cancel out. So you would have quite immense sideways forces on the rails.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing to think about, but you are moving in the same inertial frame reference as the Earth as it is, right? Because as you go downwards with the Earth, your frame of reference is the same as the Earth's. So I don't know.
But still, you're spinning. Like the Earth is spinning. So if you drop down, you basically have to decelerate your forward momentum that you had on the surface of the Earth because of that spin. So you would basically be slowed down, and that would equate to a sideways force on the rails.
Yeah,
it's kind of the Coriolis force usually is something that if you go from north to south, you feel because the Earth is spinning. But I think it's quite the same, just that you're not going north-south, you're going inside the Earth. But I think the effect is the same.
Is that the same effect that snipers have to calculate for when they're shooting over long distances?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's the rotation of the Earth that they have to take into consideration as well.
Yeah, but that's... Yeah, they have to take it into account if they're shooting north-south, and if they're shooting east-west or the other way, then the drop changes, because you're basically shooting against the rotation of the Earth or with it, and then the drop changes. It's interesting. Yeah, they have to take it into account.
It's actually
I'm
crazy.
Sure
these guys that do
you
that.
can calculate all this. I think that's not even that hard. It would be interesting what the numbers come out to if you what this Coriolis force would feel like, or what pressures you would have of air down there in the tunnel. Because I don't think it was evacuated in the movie, right? It was just a straight through tunnel.
It wasn't completely straight because it didn't go through the core. It just kind of passed beside the core, right?
Did it?
Yes.
I don't know. Okay, interesting.
You can't pass through the core. I mean, even in a sci-fi movie, they wouldn't be able to.
I mean, yeah, we are omitting the fact that it's quite warm down there.
Quite warm, more like the surface of the sun warm.
No, not quite, but it's quite warm down there.
You know what? I think you should Google it. I think you need to Google that and tell us what Google says. How hot is the core of the Earth?
Why are you telling me to Google it? Tell chat to Google that.
Okay, chat.
I am completely inebriated right
Well-
now.
well, because-
I can't do anything.
Oh, you're completely inebriated. Yeah, here I am drinking freaking Captain Morgan Spice rum, and you're inebriated. Well, at least I'm not alone. Congratulations to us. Yes, Chad,
Let's
why
say
don't you look at it? Chad is going a little crazy with Dune talk, Dune stuff right now.
Okay.
And I think it was Sinclair Research, was it, that mentioned that Dune was getting a remake? I kind of forgot about that. And that's crazy because Dune is one of those movies, again, that does not need to be remade. It's just, it's so good as a classic cult movie. Why would they do that? I mean, it'll be very interesting to see what happens when they remake Dune, but I don't know. It makes me nervous because I love Dune. Dune's one of my absolute all-time favorite movies. Kilikev says 6,000 degrees Celsius. Surface of the sun is only 5,000 degrees.
Yeah, because the surface of the sun isn't actually that hot. That's right.
That's right. It's the
Yeah,
corona.
fair enough.
See? I know what I'm talking about, god damn it!
You know star stuff.
I know stuff, okay?
But do you also drink?
I don't drink often, but when I do, I drink Captain Morgan Spice Rum. What the hell is that? What is that commercial? It's I don't often drink beer, but when I do, I drink Dos Equis. I think that's the beer that they use in that commercial.
To be honest, I don't even know that commercial. I just know all the memes that came from it.
Oh, really? Dos Equis, the real man's man, the man's man. Oh yeah, the man's man. All right, let's kill these guys off here and go loot this thing. I don't know why I'm killing these guys. There's really no point. It's just kind of slowing me down.
How's EVE Online going?
Oh, EVE Online is doing great. I've been enjoying it so much. So you know what, Great Test, though, since you're here, let's take a minute and I want to talk about Elite Dangerous. Because everyone in chat plays Elite Dangerous, I'm sure. We all saw that recently they released the teaser for Beyond Chapter 3. So there was that. What did you think about that teaser?
I barely could make anything of it. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen some stills of it, and even on those stills, you have to use your imagination quite vigorously to even like see something there. I couldn't make any of it. Like I
me
just
neither.
saw some gray, bluish, greenish spots, and that was about it. I couldn't see any ships. I mean, yeah, of course we know that there's going to be some kind of Guardian stuff, maybe ships. Awesome. Really looking forward to that. But the trailer didn't really give anything in terms of information.
Spooky says, have they fixed Chapter 1 yet? I don't know if they've fixed Chapter 1 yet. I will say that I have it from and I'm not going to name the source, but someone from Frontier.
Ed, Page.
I just said I'm not naming a source, okay? Stop digging. Stop digging. I'm not naming names. But they messaged me the other day.
There's only one guy that would give you any sort of information.
Who said it was a guy? Who said it was a guy? I never said there was any guy. Anyhow,
I know it's a guy, and you didn't tell me, but I know.
I have it on a reliable source from Frontier that we will probably see the content from Q4 much sooner than expected. So that has me very excited because.
So do you mean that they are pulling the content forward into one of the earlier updates, or will we see the whole Q4 update earlier than the end of the year?
I can't say with any amount of certainty. All I can say is that what was said to me was that
we will
at
at least see some bits of Q4 earlier, whatever that exactly means.
Yeah. Let me check the message here real quick and see exactly what was said if I have that message still.
Yeah, I have to say I'm really excited for that next little piece of update, but I'm really bummed out as well because guess what? On the 28th of August, I'm gonna be in Hamburg.
No.
Yeah, it's exactly the date of like a pre-meeting of the university here. and I'm gonna be flying up here on the 28th, spend my day here, and then fly back on the 29th to Munich. So yeah, I'm gonna see that update one day late, but I'm gonna have to rely on you guys to keep me dated.
Honestly, I can't even figure out where the heck that message was from. Where was it? Was it Discord? Maybe it was Discord. Let me see. I don't even know. It was I got a message the other day, and it was funny because that person was like, "Hey, I got some feedback from you, and I wanted to discuss it." And I was like, "Feedback from me? What are you talking about?" And this person was like, "Well, I got feedback from a Josh Hawkins," and I was like, was this something that I sent off a long time ago that I forgot about, or is this something recent? And they're like, no, it was pretty recent. And so I was confused. And then they're like, oh, maybe there's more than one Josh Hawkins. And I was terrified by that idea, honestly.
What?
Yeah, absolutely terrified by the idea that there could be
That is
potentially
so unlikely that there would be another Josh Hawkins playing Elite Dangerous and giving feedback to them. That's so unlikely.
I know, right? No, I mean, I was like, what in the hell? Like, more than one
So
Josh
were they
Hawkins?
just watching your videos or the streams, or what's going on?
I have no idea.
So they didn't tell you?
No. He said, look, if it didn't come from you, I mean, that person, not he, they said, if it didn't come from you, then I can't share it with you because it's from someone else. But I was like, oh, that's weird. They said that they would love to share it with me because it was very interesting feedback, and that's why they were touching base with me in the first place, is because they found the feedback so interesting. So whoever this other Josh Hawkins is a genius, clearly, because his name is Josh Hawkins. I mean, like all Josh Hawkinses, of course. And
Maybe it's your alternate personality that sent that feedback.
I have this 10 or 12 minutes. I just can't remember what I was doing.
That was Magic Josh.
It was Magic Josh. Yeah, that's it. Theo Bauer saying, wasn't me. All right, let's see where I am now. I'm halfway through chapter 4 of 7, so we've got an hour left. I think I can finish it off. I think I need to put some juice into this.
All of the blood-stained stars, by the way.
Oh,
Josh,
did you? You went through the whole Sisters of Eve thing?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, don't spoil it for me. I wanted to find out if
I won't tell you anything.
I want to find out if there's like more. If you get like a level 2 epic arc after.
There's more, but those other epic arcs are advanced. Like, they are not easy. You're gonna have
that's
to have
okay
some
because
ships for those.
I have great ships, and I'm flying a faction frigate and one-shotting everything and just going, oh, this is so easy. Oh
I know,
my god.
but I'm just gonna say there's 2 missions that you might want to look out for because they are significantly tougher. I mean, they shouldn't really be an issue for you as a veteran.
In these ones here?
In that story arc that you're playing through right now, there's 2 missions that are a little bit, tougher and that other beginners had issues with, but since you're not a beginner, you're not gonna have too much trouble.
I'm just gonna show very quickly here on the screen. I have a level 3 mastery of the Caldari Navy hookbill, and I'm 19 days away from a level 4 mastery of it. That means my skills are relatively high.
You know what you're doing, but new players, if there's like missions where you jump into an instance with a lot of enemies, and a few of those are webbers, like this drone.
Yes.
And new players tend to accidentally aggro all of them, and then the drones, swarm them, and they can't keep their distance, and their guns suddenly can't track them anymore, and they get webbed, and they can't jump out, and they get killed. That happens.
What just happened? Why am I back to chapter 1 of 7?
I don't know.
Okay. That's interesting.
Didn't have that issue.
Like the blood-stained stars, I just turned in that mission. It did not set me to the next one.
I did see a few bugs with that missions that, like, your an old contact would still show up as, requested or something, and it doesn't go away. But usually that wouldn't keep you from just continuing through the story.
Well, I'm gonna have to see. It's 2 jumps to get back to this Arnon system, but when I look at the agency menu, pull that back up. It set the epic arc back to chapter 1 of 7. Let me see. Okay, chapter 2 is complete. Chapter 3 is complete. Chapter 4 is still going. Mission unavailable. Complete previous missions to unlock. Okay, well maybe I have to go back in order to... You re-established contact. Okay, well I don't know. Maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. I guess we'll find out in 2 jumps. Oh, every time I see Hamburg in the chat, by the way, it makes me so hungry. Oh my god. Oh. I'm after I go pick up my wife a little bit later on, and I don't think she's watching right now because she's probably working. If you are, love you, sweetie. I miss you. I'll see you soon. We're going to a rib fest. Oh. Oh. I can't wait. Rib fest, man. It's just down the road from where I live right now. They have this huge rib festival with all these outdoor kiosks. They're baking ribs and like all different kinds of ribs, and I'm so hungry. I can't wait.
Like all sorts of huge smokers and stuff.
Yes, smokers all over the place, and
wow.
I'll take some pictures. Maybe I'll if I remember, I'll take some pictures with my phone and show it off next time. But can't wait. So hungry. I didn't eat breakfast. Actually, I did. I had a little tiny, like, spicy chorizo and Monterey Jack sandwich from Starbucks, but wasn't really much of a breakfast. I've been showing off my apartment for the past 2 days. I got, like, 1 million people coming by my house, and I was waiting for people to come check it out today. Still trying to rent this apartment. I bought a house, but I don't have anyone to move into my apartment, so if I don't find someone to move in here... Why did I just dock and then undock? Idiot! What the hell? Get back in there. Anyhow, if I don't find someone to rent my apartment, I'll be paying a mortgage and a rent, and it's not really something I can afford to do, so...
Yeah, I feel ya.
Kinda need to have someone rent this place.
Prices here in Hamburg are, let's say, spicy. It's not gonna be easy, but hey. It's gonna have to work somehow.
Alright, let's see what this does. Tracking the Queen, Part 3. Following items were granted to you when the mission was accepted. Okay, so that's going to go into my item hanger. There it is. Let's drag it into my ship. And what do I need to do? Deliver the drone's tracking to the jet can. All right, let's go deliver to the jet can. I really love these story missions, these arc stories. I mean, like, this is what chain missions are supposed to be. And I mean, I'm not reading it word for word, but I understand that as you progress, you have decisions to make as well that will change the outcome of the story.
Yeah, though I don't think those decisions are, like, in any way significant. You just, you know, experience a little different piece of the story.
What
I found is that they are quite well crafted. Sometimes I feel like, you know, the jumping around is a little bit much. Like, you could tone that down a bit and give me more fighting or more interesting stuff to do.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's pretty well done, yeah.
I would say just, you know, if I was a new player doing this, the jumping around is an important part of EVE as well, traveling through space. True. You know, it's giving like a nice variety. It's not I'm not going to complain because they're not making me jump super far. 6 or 7 jumps on a couple of them to go to a new contact is pretty normal, and then once you have that new contact, you're dealing with them in that local area of space for, like, you know, at least the next 2 or 3 or 4 missions before they send you somewhere else. But that's kind of how it works in EVE. You gotta, you know, meet your contact, and then they'll introduce you to someone else. And what is it that I'm supposed to put here? Drone tracking data? Yeah, that's it. There's the Capsuleer. Oh no! They're coming straight for me. Oh, sorry guys, you're all gonna die now. Yeah, let's see. Ooh, wow, it took 2 shots to kill those guys.
So yeah, how's everybody else doing? Did I miss anything significant? Have you guys seen Commander Machine's most recent video? If
I have not.
Please do. It's basically the recap of the arrival of Enigma, and I think it's really, really well done.
Oh, nice. You got a link? You wanna paste that somewhere?
How would I paste a link? I'm on my phone, buddy.
You got a smartphone, don't you?
Yeah, but a smartphone that is having trouble doing two things at once. I can try, but I can't guarantee for anything if I don't even know if I
believe
can
in you,
open.
Grey Test. I believe in you. If
you
you
still
believe
there?
in Grey Test,
Yeah.
clap your hands, and he will be able to do it. Clap your hands for Grey Test, everyone. There we go. Oh, more guys.
Clap.
Oh God.
I can hear it. I'm not even
There
finding
you
the video
go.
right
You
now.
got lots of claps coming. Oh,
Hold
guys. Sorry, Grey
Hold
Test.
on.
You've got the clap now.
Uh,
There you go.
Where is
Oh! Whoa, what was that? I just saw something worth 500,000 ISK. Woo! All right. I'm making money.
Let me guess. Warp drive.
I believe it was, actually. Yes, it was a 5NM MN compact micro warp drive. Not going to complain.
There you go.
Anything worth money is good. These missions pay, but they don't pay that much, you know?
Yeah. Also, if you do those missions, make sure whenever you've like cleared out a big room to mark the location and then come back to salvage, because as a new player, that's actually worth your time.
Yes, if you're a new
let's
player
say-
and you need ISK, then yes.
Because even if you only salvage like small ships, even those sometimes drop good loot that gives you a few 100k each time, and that can help out in the beginning quite a bit.
If you're a guy like me with a few 100 million ISK, then salvaging
Yeah,
these
then it's
guys
not
doesn't
interesting.
really do much. However, with that said, there are missions that I was doing on my Jackdaw recently that, uh-oh. Spazzing. Ship is spazzing. It's trying to get around this station. It's getting stuck. Okay, there you go. Come on, buddy. You can do it. Stop bouncing off the thing. On my Jackdaw...
There you go! I did it! I pasted a link
You
on my
can
phone.
do it! Here we go! See, I told you. It's all the clapping, guys. Good job. Good job. You've assisted Grey Test in managing to paste a link on his
Now
phone.
I just have to figure out how to mute you in the stream without muting you on Discord. Oh god.
It shouldn't
How
be
do I
too hard
do
to mute
things?
YouTube. Just mute the volume. You know how to do that.
Yeah,
Come
but it's the
on.
master. If I mute the volume, you go silent as well.
You're a millennial. You're supposed to be born with the knowledge of this stuff. Isn't that how it works? You just know it
no, I don't think so.
inherently? It's like the kids nowadays, they're born, you can just put an iPad into their hands when they right out of the womb and they know how to press the buttons.
Sometimes feels like it, certainly, yeah.
Right. It really
No,
does.
I don't think I can mute it separately, unfortunately. So I will have to turn the stream off again. I'm so sorry.
I will have to turn it off and on again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Greatest has just put a link to, who's that, Commander Machine's news video?
Yeah.
Go check it out
Yeah,
at
it's
your leisure.
basically his version, a very nice, well done recap of the ceremony and the arrival. He's not even saying anything or much at all, I think. It's basically Commander Plater and me talking all the time. I'm very sorry for that. But still, it's very well done. He basically used the material, and he recorded some of the preparation as well. You can see that in there. So yeah, new bits and pieces to see for you guys if you haven't yet. Very nice, very well done.
There's a mysterious drone here. The drone has escaped through that acceleration. Oh, I'm chasing the mysterious drone. Okay. Do I really give a crap about these drones, or can I just go through the acceleration gate without killing them? I probably have to kill them. Guess we'll find out here in a second. Time to start killing me some drones. One dead. Two dead. Red dead, blue dead.
Warp drive active.
There we go. Yeah, I don't have to kill those drones. See you later, dronies. Okay, where's the mysterious drone? There he is. Let's go get him. I bet you he's gonna run away again, isn't he? little bastard. Ah! Bastard! I don't even want to kill these guys. It's just a waste of time. Except for this guy. What's this? Silverfish. Silverfish? Maybe I'll kill the silverfish. I don't know if that means anything.
Not sure. I remember
name.
those enemies, but I am not sure if that was the drone special enemy or so.
I'm just gonna kill him. Nah. I think I just gotta go through these acceleration gates. I'm gonna skip killing all these silly little drones, because they're kind of pointless. Getting webbed by them. Bastards.
By the way, Dan Carlin, I told Shibuka to not show up yet because I'm not there. I want to be there if Shibuka returns. So I'm not sure if that's the reason why he hasn't shown up yet, but might be. So I think he's just taking his time setting up his new cockpit to hopefully return soon, TM. Yeah, I can't really say much more than that.
Alright, whoops, don't want to fire rockets there yet. A little bit too far away. Stop shooting rockets, you're wasting them, god damn it. I may or may not be absorbing alcohol substitute through my eye portal currently, says Nightbot. That's interesting to know. Through your eye portal, right? Oh, you're all gonna die. Dead, dead, dead. Oh, man. I wish Q4 was here already. I wish I had a great excuse to jump back into Elite Dangerous. Maybe when I get into my new place and I have my space chair hooked back up, I will feel more inclined to do so. Because I will say it does feel weird, you know, playing on a computer desk and not having my chair all set up. But we'll see how that goes. I'm just excited for Q4 is all.
Just a quick tip to Dan Carlin there in chat. He says his power supply is having issues. Be careful with that, because even if you completely unplug it, the capacitors can still have tons of charge in them. But it might be worth a shot to just open it up and take a look at all those caps and the other obvious components, because if they're blown out, you can actually see that and just, you know, solder in new ones, and that might fix your problem. That's what I did with my monitor.
But like Greytest said, those capacitors can still have a lot of charge in them, and when he says a lot, he's not kidding about a lot. A lot. You can get seriously hurt from the capacitors in your power supply.
If you decide to fumble around with those, make 100% sure they are discharged. And if you don't know how to do that, leave your fingers off it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Very much so. Excellent
Because
advice.
that is risky. But again, if you see an issue there and you can fix it, you might save some bucks on a new PC power supply. So it's worth a shot if you know what you're doing.
If you... Oh, 13 jumps, you son of a...
Yeah, it's not that much of an issue, right, Josh? Just jumping around a few jumps.
You know, 13 doesn't really seem like that much, because in a frigate it goes really fast. If you're doing it in a battleship, 13 jumps is a lot. Oh my god,
Yeah.
it takes forever.
It's still gonna take you 10 minutes, though, so
Yeah,
it is not to be
It'll
sniffed
take
at.
about 10 minutes. That's right. It'll take about 10 minutes. It's not so bad. I mean, look, recently I did a 36 jump run twice, back and forth. 36 jumps there, 36 jumps back, and then another 36 jumps there again, and 36 jumps back in a hauler, loading all of my stuff from one old home base to another. That was a bit of an ordeal. And haulers take a long time to align and warp. Not like the frigate, you click and you're pretty much instant warping. So
What I find funny is that cap ships can warp even if they're not aligned. They only have to be like aligned 90 degrees, and they can already go into warp.
can they?
Yeah, kind of. Like you often see cap ships warping like sideways.
That could just be like an animation lag or something, I wonder.
Don't think it is, no. But I don't own one yet, so I couldn't tell you for sure.
When are we going to start
I've
our
just seen
corporation? So I can get out of the Caldari Provision Corp.
Drive active.
Yeah, I've switched back to that as well. Yeah, I guess when I come back, we can set all that up. Sure.
When are you coming back, buddy?
Monday. So
Oh,
I'm
on
gonna have
Monday.
a few days at home before I have to fly up here again for that meeting on the 28th. But yeah, I'm gonna have a few days from on Monday on. So hopefully that'll work out.
Right on. I will let everyone know right now, all 37 of y'alls who are watching, and anyone who watches the show post live. Not next Saturday, the following, the 1st of September, I will not be able to have a show. There will be no Brocast unless someone else picks up the torch for that day.
I might be able to. We'll have to see.
Just family things are happening that day, and it's a priority. It's something that we have to do. So maybe we'll have a broadcast on Greatest channel on the 1st of September.
Yep.
Zendara says, just 10 minutes? That's like one jump from station to station in Elite. What you complaining about? That's true. Unless it's Hutton Orbital, says Theo Bauer. Yeah, then it's half an hour. Yes, 13 jumps, 10 minutes is really not that big of a deal in EVE or any other game that requires travel. Hopefully by the time I get to this one, she doesn't tell me to jump 13 jumps back, and she'll give me some missions that I can do in that system. Let's see where we're at in terms of progress right now. We are at the end of Chapter 4, so we'll be starting Chapter 5, and got 5, 6, and 7 to do. I got an hour left to do it. I think we might be able to wrap this up. I hope.
Oh, that's new. I'm just looking at your stream there. That indicator there, how far along the storyline you are, that hasn't been there when I played through it a few months ago.
Oh, you mean the, hold on, let me pull that back up. The agency quest thing that shows the chapters and the missions in each chapter?
Yeah, when I played through it, it was just, you had that agency mission for the next agent you have to go through for the storyline.
Yeah.
But I never saw those, those indicators and that nice little window there with the overview.
It's handy dandy. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with it. Now what I realized is that the destination system is actually low-sec space.
Ooh, spicy.
Oh, yeah, a little spicy. The ship is certainly not fit for PvP, but guess we'll see what happens.
Then again, there's an explicit... Yeah, it doesn't account for you because your character is older than 30 days, but young characters in the story arc are protected. They are not to be engaged in PvP or messed with in those systems that are related to the story arc.
6 jumps left to go. This little Caldari Navy hookbill, by the way, when it's properly fitted, is a hell of a ship. It's fantastic for both PvE and PvP, and it's relatively inexpensive. For anyone who's just starting out, it's... Here, let's see, view market details. The hookbill is generally around that 15 to 20 million ISK, which is not too bad for a faction frigate.
I'm gonna tell you though, for someone who plays through the story arc, like right after they started the game, after they finished the those other agents. I don't know what they're called right now. It's gonna be a lot of money.
Oh,
I
yeah,
remember
20
saving
million.
for the what's it called? That other destroyer, I think. No,
What,
not destroyer, the big one.
Caldari?
No, I was going for the what's it called? I'm forgetting all the names right now because I haven't played in so long. The Green Nation, whatever, Galante. There you go. The
Galante,
Galante,
okay.
not destroyer, the one bigger. Names.
Words.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Whatever. That was like 9 million. That was a lot of money back then.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't seem like a lot of money now. 20 million. My Jackdaw just spent 200 million ISCON the other day, getting it outfitted and up and running properly, but it is a hell of a mission runner. It does almost 300 DPS and has like a 6,000 effective hit point tank, which is crazy to think about because that's a Tech 3 tactical destroyer, and I'm flying a Tech 1 faction frigate that does 200 DPS and has more effective hit points. So
It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit nutso.
But the advantage that these level 3 ships have, that they can change their mode, so you can adapt to the situation.
I haven't had to do that yet with anything that I've done on the tactical destroyer.
But it looks cool.
It does look cool. It's like a little transforming ship, and sometimes I just hit the buttons because I want to see the ship change shape. For no other particular reason than just to watch it change shape. It's cool. It definitely is.
Oh, Nightbot, you're amazing. Oh, that's funny.
The like button just told me that he's really okay with people touching him as long as they're respectful. Thanks, Nightbot. That is pretty funny. Yeah, if you're just joining in right now, welcome to the Brocast. If you're watching this after post-live, then I hope you're enjoying the show. We're playing EVE Online. My name's Commander Josh Hawkins. Great Test is here with me right now.
Hello, Liam. It has been a while. So glad to be with you guys again, at least on the mic.
Yep. It certainly has been a while that you've actually been able to jump on the show with us. I hope that we'll be able to get into a bit more gaming. On the 28th, we'll have to check out... Well, actually, is that... Let me look at the calendar. 28th is... Oh, you know what? That kind of sucks, because I won't be able to do the Brocast on the 1st for the Elite update. Oh, well.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do that. Try to do it, let's say.
Yep. We'll have to depend on Greytest for it, hopefully. Unless, like... Unless a wild Shibuka appears and wants to host the show. I don't know. Don't know if he'll be on for that or not.
I'll talk to him. We'll see. Would be awesome. Maybe we can lure him back in with the new content.
What do you guys think that stuff was, by the way, in the Beyond Chapter 3 teaser video? People were saying Guardian stuff. What do you think? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments or in the chat.
I do think it was something Guardian, because, it was dark-ish, with blue and green hinted colors. But yeah, you couldn't really make out anything, so it could be anything. I hope it's gonna be ships that we can actually fly. I would also be happy with just actual encounters with Guardians for a change of pace. That would be cool as well. Apart from that, yeah, it's just more speculation. I can't really tell.
Yep, all speculation. Guess we'll find out what happens. These missions are actually starting to pay out pretty decent right now. 200k plus 186 reward for bonus for completing it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
That's not too shabby at all.
Drive active.
How many people we have in local here? 141 in low-sec local. Okay, well, so we'll have to be a little bit careful. I'm not going to be checking D-scan for really any type of combat props, because I don't imagine I'll be in any area for much longer than a few minutes. Get in, get out. Oh my god! Oh my god, what am I supposed to do here? Holy...
Read your mission. You might not be needed to fight all those.
I hope not. What am I supposed to do? Hold on. That. I don't think I could take all those guys out. Looks like they're still getting stolen the information. Get back to me before they realize that you're there. Okay. I think that means leave.
Warp drive active.
Yeah. Okay. It just means get in and get the hell out. Wow, that's a lot of big ships.
Well, Spooky, I hope not, and I don't think that will be what we're getting. Just, a year of Guardians, not much else. Since, now we have both. The Thargoids are well established now, and the Guardians will be like a new player on the field that not only interact with us, but hopefully also mainly with the Thargoids themselves. And yeah, we'll see how that turns out, what FDEF actually decide to do with that, if it's going to be some sort of conflict that we don't even really play a role in, or maybe hopefully we can influence in some way. We'll see. I don't know what
you mean like
plan.
Have a story that evolves and changes?
I'm on drugs. I'm probably going crazy by now, but yeah, that's what I meant.
I think you've been biking too long. Maybe you're exhausted.
I had too much. Yeah, no, I was exposed to the sun for long amounts of time, so I'm probably just going nuts.
little cuckoo there, buddy.
No, that's what I'm hoping for. Not just some. Here you get some guardian ships that you can meet in space, and you get a little bits and pieces of story about them, and that's it. I hope there's more to it. I hope we'll have some encounters, engagements, some story between Thargoids and Guardians, and maybe even something that we can actively influence. That would be amazing.
I don't want to be a pessimist, but I'm predicting one more scripted encounter, maybe something with the Guardians popping in, and then
that would be really disappointing, because even FDev should have gotten the gist of it, the gist of the feedback from the community by now, that we want more than just, bits and pieces of story that you might not even necessarily encounter if you're just playing the game on your own without any interaction with the rest of the community to know what's going on.
Except
that's not okay. And if they're still pursuing that kind of road, I'm gonna be honest, I'm disappointed. So I really hope they got the mail, they got the message, and they realized that they have to step up their game a bit there to give us some more interactive content.
Well, what would be interesting to see is how many people are actively playing Elite Dangerous right at this very moment.
Very few, because I have followed the numbers, but you guys can probably check that out on the Steam statistics. But it's not many. Even especially when new No Man's Sky came out, the numbers shifted dramatically.
I'm absolutely certain you're right about that. And look at Eve. Peak hours, there's 30,000 people playing Eve.
Yeah.
And off hours, last night I logged in at midnight. There was 22,000 people logged onto the server.
Yeah, but that's I guess that is the lowest that I've seen so far. When I get up early in the morning and log in, which is super early in the morning for even the West Coast guys.
18,000.
No, it tends to go down to the 10K ish area, but not much lower than that.
Wow,
yeah.
I've never seen it that low.
Then again, that is peak amount of players for Elite in its best times.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. Well, it just goes to show people want to play a game that has stuff to do. Elite has a certain appeal to it. We all know what that appeal is. It's a beautiful game. It has great flight mechanics. It makes you feel like you're in a huge, huge universe, because you are. But that's kind of where it's lost, right? I mean, combat gets repetitive after a while.
Yeah, we could talk over and over about that same topic. I think we've made our point how we see that, but it's more interesting to talk about these little like details, the actual facts that we know. For example, Spooky says there he's not going to join back in, not since the crime and punishment went up, and I agree. Like I haven't really played Elite Dangerous, to be honest, since that change happened. So I couldn't tell you how bad it is, but I know it's pretty bad from reports from other people. And yeah, I hope FDev is going to be honest enough there to themselves to say maybe that wasn't the best way to do it. Maybe we should redo it again. It's really hard for me to judge them in that way if they're going to do that or not. I couldn't tell you. I hope they're gonna, it would be a sign of confidence if they said, okay, we agree it wasn't probably the best solution to the problem. We'll rethink it again from scratch and maybe we can come up with something better, hopefully soon. Maybe even revert back to the old system in the meanwhile, because as far as I know, people really don't seem to be happy with it.
We talk about crime and punishment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's certainly leaves room for improvement, doesn't it?
Raxxla always gets the Bauer back. Yeah, we know it's supposed to be in the game. It probably is out there somewhere, but we don't know what it is. And it hasn't been found since day one, so until they actually address that in some way and maybe drop us a hint here or there, it can be very hidden. I mean, the Elite Dangerous community is thorough enough to find that hint if it's out there. They're just not gonna find a single planet in 400 billion systems. It's just not gonna happen on accident. I mean, yes, it could happen on accident, but if you rely on a chance in 1 in 400 billion, it's gonna take a few years, if not decades, if not centuries for that to happen. So until they drop us a hint, I don't see that being any sort of major point in any story, unless it is somehow linked to the Guardians, which we don't know. It might be. It has come up again recently, so there might be something to that. And yes, instancing is also still the bane of Elite Dangerous.
Yeah.
I just don't see that changing anytime. Probably not even with that game in the future. I mean, what I mean is as long as the game is called Elite Dangerous and not Elite Dangerous 2, I don't think we're gonna see a change in that regard, which is very unfortunate.
Elite Dangerous 2?
Yeah, that's probably not what it's gonna be called, but you know what I mean. As long as this is still Elite Dangerous, the same game, the same engine, the same construct, basically, and you didn't start over from scratch, you're not gonna see a change in instancing. Which, I mean, they're gonna try to improve it, but that only takes you so far, and I think we've already kind of hit the max there with like 50 people in instance, very unstable and very unreliable. So we're probably gonna have to deal with that still for quite a while.
It's really unfortunate because, playing with friends really makes a game much more fun.
Yeah, certainly.
Docking permission requested. Docking request.
And it would
accepted.
certainly help with things like what we've done in the past, like arranging events or organizing events where we have as many people as possible involved. It would be great.
Sinclair, Elite even more dangerous. Yes, please let that be the working title for the next game.
Even more dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be.
And General Ghost, they have explicitly stated that Raxxla was in the game from day one. We don't know what it is, so it might not be more than like a POI on the surface somewhere. We don't know if they might have reworked it in the meanwhile, since nobody found it, and they might as well change it up if they have more tech or more resources to look into that, and they know that it's a favorite of the community. But they have explicitly stated that it was in the game from day one, whatever that's gonna mean, whatever you take that for. Elite Dangerouser. Dangerouser? Ooh. Elite Dangerouser.
Ooh. Dange Arouser, hey?
If we're gonna go with the Scorpius, it's gonna be called Elite Mostly Dangerous.
Elite Mostly Dangerous. Oh, I got no problem popping.
Theo
these
says
guys.
they gave him. They said that someone was apparently in that system and honked, but then jumped out again. So they didn't check their system map or their navigations panel if it would even show up there. I don't know. I mean, you know, past POIs have not shown up on the navigation panel, and people only found them by scouring planets. So I wouldn't rely on that. So you probably can't blame that guy that he honked and jumped out again, whoever that was. And Theo says you don't need horizons to find it. That's an interesting point, though. Yeah, of course you don't have to have horizons to find it because it was in the game from day one when there was no horizon. So what that means, it has to be something in space, I guess. It can't be on the planet's surface. So what are we talking about? Is it going to be a station? Is it going to be a whole planet that's artificially constructed in some way and counts as a station? I'm curious. I'm very curious about what that's going to be. It's been such a mystery for such a long time.
We'll never know.
I'm afraid we might never know, yeah. I really hope that's not the case, but it's certainly a possibility, yeah.
It's a 1 in 300 million chance.
I mean, giving the hint that somebody honked there is not really a hint. It's just teasing. That's all it is. Because even if every single player would log in and look through all, look through all their discovered systems or data they sold, that you can't even do that because you have no way of doing that other than, looking at every single system where you have a blip on the galaxy map.
Every single one.
There's not even a systematic way to go through them. You would just have to look all over the place and make sure you don't miss one on the galaxy map. So that's not feasible. It's teasing. That's all it is. It's not a hint.
Magrathea from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, says Sinclair. Yeah, that's very possible. It is. It's. But I think it's a perfect demonstration of. Well, pretty much everything that they've done in Elite Dangerous. It's like 99.9% of the community will not know what it is unless that 0.01% actually finds it. I don't know how that works or how it's supposed to work for anyone. Gray Test, did we lose you?
Nope, I'm still here. I'm just reading chat right now. Sorry.
Okay.
I mean, don't underestimate. I mean, if we're talking about a player base, do we have total numbers of, players signed up or at least somewhat regularly playing Elite Dangerous? Like, I'm not talking concurrent numbers here, but, just people that log in from time to time and play a bit. How many people is that?
I don't know. There we go. These guys didn't want to come out. Blow up their habitation module.
Now probably even the majority or the core of the players who still play Elite Dangerous, it's those veterans, those very dedicated players that enjoy the game still. And I would say many of them probably know about Raxxla and would love to know what it is or find it. So yeah, I wouldn't discount it.
happened here? Did I complete it? Oh, big explosion. I love the explosions in Eve. Like, holy crap, look at that. That's an explosion, ladies and gentlemen. So why... Oh, okay, I don't have enough. Do I have enough room to pick this stuff up? No, I do not. Do I get a mission completion from that? Did they actually come aboard? Let's see. Yes, okay. Let's go back and dock now. There we go.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, I think it's funny because people are talking about Scorp streams right now. No, from my point of view right now, not playing the game myself and not really hearing much outside of, you know, here the Bro Bar and the few other Discord places I'm in. It really feels like the story has, like, the content creators now own the story.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Turgeon basically took the news of the royal wedding in the game and spun his own story around that and is making videos about it, which I think is genius. But you know you know what I mean? It basically the whole storytelling shifted over from the game, which didn't really have it in the first place, to all those videos that are being created now. And that's actually the interesting part where you get your Elite Dangerous story from, even though it's not officially canon, of course. But, you know, I get more enjoying and more immersement out of watching those videos and having a laugh than actually playing the game.
I had such a great laugh at Turgeon's most recent video there with Turgiana, but it was so hard to watch.
Yes, it's cringy beyond belief, and that's what makes it good.
Oh, God. It was so hard to watch. When Cass starts dancing, I was like, oh God, I hope that wasn't Turgeon doing like motion capture dancing. But then I was like, he'd probably do it really good.
Probably, you never know. He might have some hidden talents.
I have a feeling Turgeon knows how to pirouette like that quite well, actually. I mean, he's got a lot of free time on his hands, so he could certainly practice. Yeah, that was very cringe. Very cringe.
You know, it's just curious, because all we get story-wise, we don't even get in the game. We get from the newsletter in like three little pieces, usually about something that happened in the game, just 3 little pieces of text, and that's it. That's all we get every single week.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, there's some events corresponding to that in the game, but they don't really tell the story. They just give you an excuse to do something like, I don't know, community goals or whatever you're supposed to do. I don't even know, because I don't even read through that part of the newsletter anymore where they tell you, yeah, we have something going on here and there.
Great test. You don't have to read it anymore, okay? It reads itself.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point, but since I'm not playing the game anymore in the first place, I'm not gonna listen to it either. So there you go.
Who actually does? I'm very curious who actually uses the Galnet audio. If you listen to Galnet audio in chat, tell me, please.
When I played since it came out, I actually used it from time to time. When I was driving like across the planet's surface in my SRV, or, you know, just having a few jumps ahead of me, I did use it. I just usually couldn't fully listen to it because I was focusing on stuff, and then I missed a part. And since you can't rewind in Galnet audio, I kind of missed stuff, so I was only half listening to it, and I certainly didn't get all details. So it's good. I still think it's a good thing to be in the game. It's just not completely useful for me, and it's not a substitute for an actual story. Let's be honest here, to listen to the news in the game.
It's not, really. I used it once, and I don't even think I listened to anything that they were saying, because I was like, oh, well, I'm chatting, and I'm looking at stuff, and why am I listening to this? What did she just say? Oh, I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah. It really helped you. You know, Turgeon uses the same voice. But if you actually have, or let's say Cass uses the same voice, but if you actually have a video to look at while that story is being told, it's, it captures your full attention. You're not doing anything else on the side. And I just feel like that voice of Cass, let's say, is much too monotone to really capture your attention enough to, get the most important details when you're just listening to it on the side while you're playing the game. It just kind of flows in the background, and I don't really catch everything.
Yeah, you're right. It is very monotone. It's a bit droning, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a good point from Zendara. Sagittarius Eye is probably another really good source that came up in the last year. They just had their first anniversary, their 12th issue. Congrats to those guys, by the way. Amazing work. But again, that's not the game. That's the community and third party. No, it's the community. Let's be honest here. It's commanders from the community that pulled up that amazing magazine. And yes, they are staying in character. They are, let's say, using official lore and sometimes expanding on that a little bit. But it's a magazine. It's not a newspaper. So, the stories vary. Sometimes they're about something very specific. Sometimes they cover the events in the game. So it's a mixed bag. It's not a news outlet, let's say. And again, it's not story content that you can necessarily engage with in the game. The stuff that you read in there that you can actually engage with are usually the player-created events, like the races or whatever other stuff you read in there, that you then can actually engage with because you read about it in the Sagittarius Eye magazine. So yeah, it's all stuff that FDev could have gotten ahead of and kind of incorporated in some way, and they just didn't. It's all community.
I do not have enough room in my ship. What am I gonna have to get rid of here? Radioactive waste? Do I need the radioactive waste? I don't think I do. Let's see. Carrying too much stuff now. I need to...
Billy Gray asked, what are you doing?
What am I doing?
Mate?
What am I
doing?
doing? Huh? What am I doing? Don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing the thing there. Some of the things. Compact energy neutralize. I'm just ditching some stuff that's taken up way too much space. Ooh, I got a couple Hornets in there. Don't know why. Combat drones. Get rid of those. Get rid of that. Yeah, let's get rid of all that.
Well, let me summarize it for you, Billy Gray. Josh is desperately trying to work through the Bloodstained Stars Sisters of Eve story arc in EVE Online. And while we're doing that, or he's doing that, we're chatting and ranting about Elite Dangerous as per usual.
Yep, that's what we do. Oh, there's a 2 million ISK rapid light missile launcher in there. Fantastic. That we can get rid of. That we can... No, not that one. Let's get rid of that one and that one. And that one. Trying to free up some space in here. Nova light missiles. This. Okay. Jettison. Go. There we go. Let's take that mining laser. Gosh, I really want to loot the rest of the stuff, but I don't think it's even worth it. Let's see.
Nope. Not gonna be worth it. Just let it go. Let it go.
I gotta look.
Let it go.
Look.
No, don't do it.
Why do you always have to look?
Yeah, you always have to look. Josh can't not look.
Because you never know what's going to be in there. Could be something of value, Grey Test.
No.
No. Okay, there's nothing of value.
The best stuff that I've ever found in those ships, because I'm the same. I always look through all the loot. Was like
Drive active.
Omega locked like cloak or something that was worth like just over $1 million, and that's it.
I had a 200 million ISK item drop in an escalation that I had. It was like a...
Yeah, but that's an escalation. That's not a storyline mission.
No, it's and it's certainly not a level 1 storyline mission, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect that
No.
here.
Mission requested.
You don't find any significantly good stuff in there.
You know what's interesting is if I open my inventory right now, I have exactly on the dot 3 million ISK estimated price. I mean, what are the chances of that with all the items that I have in here? Exactly 3 million ISK.
Storm has a good question there. Question for Brocast in chat. Being a new player, still doing the tutorials, would you still recommend Elite Dangerous to new players, and why or why not?
Oh, absolutely. For new players, I mean, it's a very different thing when you're a player who's played it for, 3+ years, or if you're just starting into it for the very first time.
Yeah, I would agree. Right now, the game is probably better than ever for new players, absolutely, because they have improved a lot of stuff over the years. Overall, the updates, a lot of, quality of life improvements, overworks of the core system, which are kind of still in progress now, but they are on that. So yes, absolutely. As a new player, you can get a lot out of it. You still have all the progression that we have in game ahead of you, which, can be a good or bad thing. You still have lots of new experiences to make, but you also have quite a bit of grind ahead of you, because FDF have consistently nerfed the easy ways to make money in the past. And since that's your main way of progression in the game, apart from many other things that you have to grind, it's going to be a while for you to work through that now, let's be honest here.
It
Of
will
course,
take
with
you...
every update, you might get lucky and have another, money hack, let's say, in there. So if you want to take advantage of that, watch all the usual channels on YouTube, which usually cover those really early on, and you can get, a little bit of a head start there. But apart from that, yeah, it's a good time to start the game. Just don't expect like a quick, easy game.
No,
if you want bigger ships, if you want interesting modules and stuff, and engineer stuff, yeah, be prepared to invest quite a bit of time.
Yes,
it's gonna take that time.
It's a time sink that a lot of people don't necessarily have.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can't enjoy the game without worrying about it. I mean, like, I've been playing for 3 years. I don't have any of the big ships. None.
Yeah, that's probably a good recommendation. Don't let yourself be drawn to really having to have those big ships. You can have a great time in the smaller ships.
Absolutely.
So I would recommend to you just see how the prices are for the different ships, and set yourself a realistic goal that you can reach in a reasonable amount of time of playing the game, with the normal methods of earning money without those exploits, let's say. And you're gonna have a good time because you're actually playing the game, you're actually doing all the different kinds of activities, and at the end of it, you're gonna have the reward of flying a new ship and having better capabilities. That's the core of progression, basically. And that works if you don't try to rush for those big and very expensive ships.
You'll enjoy the game more.
And there are some gems in there in the smaller ships, let me tell you that much.
I would almost go as far as saying that the smaller ships are more fun than anything else, because they're the ones that are quick, they respond, they turn quickly, they're fun to fly. The big ships, they're slow, they have a lot more firepower, sure, but I don't know. I like the Viper. Great ship. Or the Vulture. Oh my god. Vulture has so much potential for when the ship gets to look really amazing too. All right, are we done? We are
Warp drive
almost done.
Active.
I got one more to go until Chapter 6. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish Chapter 6 and 7. It's taken longer than I expected.
Yeah, it's taken a while. That's not like super quick to run through. But General Ghost said, "You don't have any of the big ships, Josh, because you are out in the black with worthless exploration data for 3 years now."
Yeah, I know. That
And
exploration data's
40%
killing me. It's killing me. It's killing me that they couldn't make it retroactive for the people who had
Yeah.
not yet sold their exploration data.
Yeah.
Disappointing,
Docking
but
permission
whatever.
requested.
What can you do? It
Docking
is what it
request
is.
Accepted.
It's an interesting station that we're pulling up to here with the scaffolding all around it. Okay, completed, and this is the last one. He's going to send me over to some new guy for Chapter 6, right? Yep. All right, let's head on over there.
Yeah, General Ghost, I think that's exactly the reason why some people feel compelled towards those big ships. And because in Elite, you don't have any
Warp
sort of
drive
matchmaking,
active.
let's say.
No.
You can always, even as a completely new player in his Sidewinder, encounter a over-the-top, completely kitted-out Corvette, engineered all the way, and yeah, it doesn't even have to look at you. You just have to get in its engine trill, and you're dead, basically. So that I think that's why so many new players or newer players feel compelled to have to get to those big ships, because PvP is still an issue. But again, you don't have to have PvP. I would completely recommend to you, if you don't enjoy that aspect of the game and you don't want to be competitive against other players, to join one of the private groups, the big PvE private groups like Mobius or Fleetcom, or just play in solo. Of course, you miss out on all these very interesting, occasionally, encounters with other players. I do enjoy those, but of course you also always have the risk of encountering someone that you absolutely can't deal with. And yes, I know, you are supposed to be able to run away, but let's be honest here, if somebody knows what they're doing in a big and powerful ships, there's very, very few ships that can get away or stand a chance.
Yeah, it's true.
So I can see why people are drawn to those bigger ships that can stand a chance or can escape. But I think the better alternative to enjoy the game is to completely avoid those PvP encounters and just play the game the way you like it, with other friends or friendly players that don't do PvP, or just completely on your own with encounters.
But if you do play in open, avoiding PvP is not something that you can just choose to do. It can happen.
No. You can avoid busy areas. There's
Yeah.
these hubs where kind of more activity is and where you can be expected to be interdicted. But you can never be sure. Like, even out in the black on an exploration trip, you could stumble upon someone that was, trying to chase you down, or
True.
or just randomly encountered you and decides, hey, I'm gonna snap that guy. So,
Very true.
yeah, be prepared to lose your ship. That's all I'm gonna say, basically, if you choose to, go open. Because I'm also gonna say that those random encounters with other players in open can be super interesting. I think that's one of the most interesting part of Elite. It's just so unfortunate that there's no regulation to it, or no way of avoiding the really bad encounters that kind of dampen your fun in the game. Because I experienced the exact same thing. It was my mistake. I think I've told that story quite a few times now. I was flying my Type 7 without insurance, which is my first very big mistake. Never do that. But I was doing it, hauling gold, or so. I think I was doing gold trading back then. And somebody found me, interdicted me. I was flying in open for whatever reason. I thought it was funny. Nothing ever happened to me, so I did it. And he fairly interdicted me, told me to drop my stuff. I thought I was smart, trying to run away in a Type 7 from a Clipper. And he said, no, I'm not gonna let you run away, and blasted me. Completely fair encounter, completely my mistake. but it kind of killed my fun in the game for several months. I wasn't playing the game for quite a while before I came back to it and
It's a big
found
loss.
you guys.
It's a big loss.
Yeah. I mean, I was back to my Cobra that I fortunately had still sitting around, but that was what I was thrown back into, and I had to work my way back up again.
Starloss says, thanks guys for your honesty, greatly appreciated. Elite Dangerous community is top notch, I'm going to keep at it. You know, the Elite Dangerous community is fantastic, and I'm going to say that that's something that you'll find with a lot of these space type games that, you know, offer at least a year's worth of good content before it's going to start getting boring. The community is always going to be very tight-knit. EVE has an incredibly strong community. Elite's got a strong community. No Man's Sky's got a strong community. And that's really what makes these games special, is getting involved with that community. It's one of the reasons why I've tried also to kind of, you know, introduce different space games into the Brocast, because I don't want it to be an Elite Dangerous exclusive community. We want it to be a little bit more diverse. We like playing different games. I'm not a one-game guy, you know.
Yeah, me neither. But I want to add one point there. I think in at least in case of Elite Dangerous, you can even go so far to say that right now, in its current state, the community is the only reason why this game is still surviving. If the community wouldn't be as
hardcore,
hardcore, as involved, let's say, as passionate about the game, it would not be alive anymore, because the player numbers would have dropped way down, way lower than they are right now, and I don't know if FDev would have decided to keep going with it at that point.
Yeah, it's hard to say whether or not we'll ever see things like Space Legs, considering the number of people who are actually playing the game. Like, they're making all their money from microtransactions, since there's no subscription model. So how is it sustainable for them over the long term to continue developing things like Space Legs in the game? Or is it even? You know,
probably because they are still selling the base game and Horizon separately, which I still greatly do not agree with. Yeah. They should totally sell only packages from now on. But and yes, those microtransactions are certainly a big part. But even I don't feel compelled to spend anymore. I spent hundreds of euros on microtransactions in that game. Let's be honest here. I've bought so many paint jobs and ship kits and whatnot, because I felt like, yes, it's worth it. And I still don't regret those spendings. I enjoy my ships fancy and all kitted out. But right now, I don't feel compelled to spend any more. I don't need the Challenger ship kit that just came out. I'm bored when I look at all the paint jobs that come out with every newsletter every week. The game has to offer substance for me to want to jump back in, engage with other players, and show them my awesome stuff that I have on my ship. What else? I mean, it also looks beautiful in screenshots, but that's not enough for me.
Spooky saying, I don't want Space Legs in Elite. Well, that's fair enough, but I'm sure you'd like to see atmospheric landings, right? I mean, that's something that here we are now 3 years in, more than 3 years in, and we still don't have anything more than airless moons.
Yeah, the Theo Bauer, that's a fair point. No Man's Sky did survive with a small community, but that's because those developers decided to stick with the game and were not happy with what they delivered first place and worked on it for 2 years and they've delivered a smashing update.
Oh my god.
Which completely fairfully drew a lot of players back in. I mean, a lot.
It wasn't just the next update that has drawn players back into No Man's Sky. They have released significant content updates with each of their updates, not just the most recent one.
But those really didn't draw any players in, like at least not big time. I feel like those smaller updates in between were just preparation for this big next update that we had right now.
Yeah, it certainly did feel like this.
And
This has
that
been...
was, that was the right way to do it. They just prepared in silence, didn't expect any big numbers, and then they hit home with the big update that's just kind of wrapped up all the updates before.
Well, here we are. I definitely won't be able to finish Chapter 6 and 7. They're taking a little bit longer each one now, but I've made it to the beginning of Chapter 6. I've got 10 minutes left. I'll finish off a couple of these missions and see if we can't wrap this up on another stream. Let's see, where do I have to go? I gotta take this to Tanu.
And yes, Uktentide, I completely agree with you. Space Legs with meaningful content is necessary. There's like I kind of don't want to talk about Space Legs anymore because I don't see it happening, and I think the community is way too like focused on that for some obscure reason. If it makes sense, if they can make it work in a sensible way in the game, yes, please, it would be a nice addition. But I don't need it. Like, I can go on planets in Star Citizen and No Man's Sky now, and they just kind of missed the point there. And now it's a bit too late. Let's be fair here. Let's be honest. And I would say it's not what makes Elite Dangerous great. I don't see how they could top those other games in any significant way with what they have here.
I don't know if they could. I don't know if they ever will.
So I don't. I would rather them perfecting what they have here and making the game appealing to the community again. It's just kind of like this tag word that people throw out there, but I don't get it. And I think Spooky said the same. Yeah, he doesn't want Space Legs, and I kind of agree. I don't need them.
Is that all I gotta do here? Just drop that doll into the container. Yes. Oh, hold on. I can complete that remotely. That's good. Stop warp. Stop warp. Okay. Ah, damn it.
Yeah, General Ghost, I also want that. That could be interesting. That could be a new aspect to the game, and I'm curious if squads will kind of give us something in that regard. I can tell you that much. I don't know if that's been publicly discussed in the community just yet, but I have received an email as leader or let's say as founder of the Rock Rats in the game to reserve the squadron name for the Rock Rats. So it is in the works. It is gonna come. I don't know what it is enveloping just yet, but I would totally look forward to some bigger ships. We'll see, I guess.
That would be one of the benefits of Space Legs, though, is if we did have bigger ships where we could put multiple people in to be able to walk around to the stations rather than just clicking and teleporting from one station to another. The whole holo presence thing with multiplayer and Elite irks me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I find it's like a lame way to implement multiplayer. Like, oh, you want to join your friends? Okay, well, it's a holo presence. You're not actually there. You're there like a hologram. I don't know. I mean, what happens if they do put Space Legs in? Are they going to remove the hologram and now you can just go and sit down on the seat?
That's why I think Space Legs is not going to happen. They just kind of shown in the past with their decisions that that's just not the road that they're going to go down with. There's been no signs of any preparations for this.
Yeah.
So I don't see it happening.
Theo says, I think they should employ more authors.
Probably, yeah. I agree.
They have a lot of...
Again, that's also something that they've kind of, at least sort of to some degree, outsourced in the past, with those community authors that are writing books and stories for the game that have created the single biggest community event in the past with, the chase of Salome. Of course, they have writers, and they're not doing an awful job. I mean, if you look at those mega ships, those stories are amazing.
Yeah.
But
Very
again,
cool.
it's something that you kind of have to stumble upon in the game as an independent player. If you don't know that they're there, the possibility of stumbling upon one is small, very small.
More
so
like
you might not
zero.
even ever not zero. If you're like moving around in a bubble, you might stumble upon one at some point. But if you finally find that megaship and it's like, wow, I just found something completely new, something crazy with a story that happened there, you don't necessarily even realize that there's more of that. Like, you might not even go looking for more. You might not even inform yourself if there's more of those megaships that you can find, and just be done with it. And you miss out on all these other awesome crafted stories. I mean, they're short, yes, but I really like them, and they're voice acted, which I also really like.
Nightbot's comment: if only ED and Star Citizen and No Man's Sky could have a love child together.
That would be a crazy love child, but
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I'm all for it.
That would be amazing.
Warp drive
Yeah.
active.
That would be exactly what every space game player would ever want. But
Yeah,
it's
like
also
the
impossible.
graphical fidelity and ambition of Star Citizen, the
flight
this-
model
this-
of
the-
Elite
this-
Dangerous and the
definitely,
size.
yes, definitely the flight model and the realistic, let's say the realism of Elite Dangerous, and maybe the sort of craziness and scope, let's say, of No Man's Sky. I think that could be a nice mix. And some of also the crafting mechanics, I think, in No Man's Sky are now pretty nice, and the base building as
base
well.
building. Yeah, God, I wish
Yeah.
we had base building.
I really enjoy that, because I've been playing No Man's Sky now for like 30 hours since the next update, when I still was home, and I had some great time just working through the story. It's a small story, but there is one that kind of guides you through the process of building your base, and I've really enjoyed that, kind of progressing that.
The base building is it's a lot of fun. It gives me purpose in the game. Whoa! I just totally flew right
And-
through that building.
And I think the multiplayer, even though limited to 4 players at one time, is very well done for what this game offers you.
Yeah.
Because you can just jump into a session of a friend of yours, check out their base, play with them for a while, and even grab some of the items for yourself, and then be done with it. Like, there's no repercussions or anything. It's just enhancing the experience, and that's what I like.
It's very well done. I mean, 4-player co-op is fantastic. Astroneer looks promising with their multiplayer as well, and what they've been developing. I'm excited to see what happens when they go into like actual beta and not their early access anymore.
Yeah, kind of went under that game in the meanwhile, but I'm definitely looking forward to checking it out again.
Well, it's a really fun game. It's the type of game that you can just jump into and kind of enjoy for, several hours without... I cannot access the ancient tomb without specialized equipment. Sorry, one second. What the hell is going on? What have I done wrong here? It's just the type of game that you can kind of enjoy without really having to think much. It's very relaxing. Oh, crap. I need an archaeology. Of course, that's back at the base. Okay, back to dock. Well,
Right, guys,
unfortunately,
it's time anyhow. Yeah, I was
Gonna
gonna
say.
say it's...
Unfortunately, I don't have time to go back and get the relic analyzer and open that crate up, but thanks for joining in for this week's episode of the Brocast. Greatest, it's great to have you back on the show here, even if it is just for
It was
for the week.
fantastic.
And I hope that we will see you guys all next week on the Brocast again. Next week, what's next week? What are we doing next week? Well, I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. We might play...
Surprise!
Yeah, surprise. Exactly. Depends on who's online and who we can get in here. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and play some outro music. Yep, play. There we go. Yay! All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for coming
On the broadcast.
on the Brocast. We'll see you next Saturday, 3 p.m. as usual. This is Commander Josh Hawkins and Commander Great Test saying thanks and
Cheers.
see you next week and sayonara. Commander Josh Hawkins signing off, ladies and gentlemen.